told with pure intention. Every voice gets full attention. Building trust without contention. Stronger through our connection. From La Videa to the diaspora. No gimmicks, just real data. Transparency is our mantra. Shining bright like an aurora. We are the voice you can believe in. Through the airwaves we keep giving. Day and night.
Again, I'm your host. My name is Derek Yale, and let's get started. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to the Liberia Radio and Television Network, bringing you another episode of the Hard Zone. If this is your first time being here, the Hard Zone is a opinion-based talk show where we talk about issues in Liberia and the diaspora. Again, the Hard Zone is aired here on LRTN, and we have our Facebook page, LRTN Live, or this podcast will be streamed on YouTube at Liberia Radio and Television Network, and also on Instagram at LRTN_215. Tonight we have a special guest that will be taking the show off. We have the Honorable Joe Sarkor, who is fighting for the Democratic for Pennsylvania State House, District number 185, and that election will be on May 19th. We have Mr. Sarkor here to talk to us about his candidacy and his campaign. And after that, we will switch gear to talk about something very important, and that is education in Liberia, especially under President Joseph Yema Boakai. We will look into how's the country doing as far as education is concerned. So thank you for joining us again. Stay with us. Make sure you're following this network. Make sure you are engaged in the program as we have sorry about that. Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're joining us from. This is the Liberia Radio and Television Network. We're a local media institution right here in Northeast Philadelphia. And we do our business from here. And also we have our office open in Liberia. And you can find us on Facebook at LRTN Live, on YouTube at Liberia Radio and Television Network, and on Instagram at LRTN_215. We are proud tonight to present another episode of The Hard Zone. The Hard Zone, of course, is an opinion-based talk show where we feature panelists from different political persuasion, different political perspectives. And here on The Hard Zone, there's no gimmick, just real talk. Tonight, we will feature a special guest in person of Joseph Sarkor, who is running for the Pennsylvania State House District 185 Democratic representative position. And that election is on May 19, 2026. We'll have Mr. Sarkor here to talk to us about his campaign, his candidacy, and talk to us about himself. So prepare yourself for that conversation with Mr. Sarkor. And we will let us switch gear to Liberia and talk about a very important topic, and that is education, especially how is President Boakai doing as far as education is concerned in Liberia, in light of the recent circulation of the Armed Forces of Liberia recruitment with many seeing disturbing videos of those that are vowing for that to serve the country not being able to read or sentence. This has elevated to national discourse. So we will be having discussions surrounding education tonight. Again, if this is your first time joining us, please make sure you are following this network. Make sure you share this program on your individual social media pages. And we will welcome back to the Horizon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are here on the Liberia Radio and Television Network. This is episode 92 of the Horizon. I will be playing host and moderator here tonight. But let me not hold you any longer. Let me invite my panelists for this episode, and then I will then invite our special guest for this episode as well. Well, good afternoon, guys. I'm sorry, I'm trying to have. Let me welcome you, Bishop Reeves, to the program. Sorry, still trying to figure things out in the back here. Bishop Reeves, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be on this show. Hoping to have a very good show tonight.
Thank you very much. Now let's welcome you, Mr. George Tutu.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be back on the show again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Martin Boda. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you, and good evening to all of my fellow panelists. Glad to be back, and let's move it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alan Gaywell. Welcome to another episode.
Thank you, my dear brother Derek. Thanks, and good evening to all.
Thank you very much. And guys, if you're watching us, please make sure you're engaging this program by following the network and sharing this program on your individual social media pages. This podcast has been carried live on Liberia and Television Network on YouTube, LRTN_215 on Instagram, and also on Facebook at LRTN Live. And as I was mentioned in the introductory part of this show, tonight we will feature a special guest. So we're joined by a man whose joining defines resilience and purpose, from arriving in the United States as a refugee from Liberia to becoming a respected community leader, humanitarian, and senior system analyst at Temple University Hospital. Our guest has turned adversity into impact. Guys, if you're watching, let me invite and add the Honorable Joseph Sakor to the show. And Mr. Sakor, welcome back. You're a familiar face to this network. Welcome to the Radio and Television Network.
Thank you very much, Derek, for having me. Thanks to your fellow panelists.
Thank you very much again for joining us. This time, I'm sorry we started the show a little later than planned, so we were going to still try to get you to answer some of our questions, as much of the questions we have here today. So again, just for those of whom haven't seen you on this network, just talk to us briefly about yourself, and then we will get into the reason you're here in your campaign as well.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Derek, and thanks to your fellow panelists. My name is Joe Sacco. I am born and raised in Liberia, specifically from Nimba County, Nimba County. I am currently in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I came here as a refugee prior to coming to the United States. I serve as the president of the Liberia Refugee Students Committee in Guinea when we sought refuge there. I worked with the United Nations Refugee Agency, and
Yes.
the Liberia Refugee Student Committee
We got some.
was credited.
You didn't need some?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm hearing the background. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So while in Liberia, our organization, the Liberia Refugee Students Committee, at the time, helped the United Nations to establish more than 1,500 schools for our refugee brothers and sisters that came from Sierra Leone and Liberia. And many of us volunteered as teachers. And I serve as the program director for the youth program for UNHCR youth program that led to the establishment of the first nursing school in Zerikore. From there, then I moved to Danane with UNHCR, where I serve as a repatriation assistant, UNHCR Danane. Then later moved to Jiglo as UNHCR social services assistant, where I assisted countless Liberian refugees and helped with protection cases. Many of whom were resettled to United States as well. In the U.S., I served as the first Refugee Congress's delegate. It's a national Refugee Congress is a national organization of comprises of more than 40 countries around the world, whose nationals came into America as refugees. I represented Pennsylvania in that August body, and now I'm an honorary delegate. I serve as the first national chair for advocacy in that organization. Currently, I am the founder and the executive director of the Liberia Medical Mission, a nonprofit organization that takes doctors and nurses to Liberia to provide free medical services to underserved communities in Liberia. We have donated more than $18 million worth of medication and medical supplies to our motherland. We have also shipped, medical supplies to Haiti, Jamaica, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Mali. All right. So that's who I am, and I work at the Temple University Hospital. Out of gratitude, because I've been giving back to the community that welcomed me when I came as a refugee. They gave me everything that I did not even expect. I started giving back to the community in which I live, and I want to take it to the next level by representing them in the Pennsylvania Parliament, in the General Assembly. So that's why I've decided to run, and that's in a nutshell who I am and what I've been doing for the past nearly 30 years. In summary, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sacco. And just to provide information on how this interview is going to work, I have my panelists here who I will be reaching out to if they have questions or comments based on this conversation here, and then I will be asking questions as well. And just to pick on where you stopped, you were talking about now you're going for the Pennsylvania Parliament and the General Assembly. Can you talk to us about this role? So for the sake of education, what will be your responsibility there? Why is it important, the election date and all that? So people can be educated, because when it comes to elections, most people tend to be very reluctant. So if you can talk to us specifically about these elections and that role specifically, what would be your responsibility and how that would impact the community?
No, that's a very good question. Like I said, first of all, I'm someone that like to give back. All along my life, I have been deeply involved in providing services to people. I built this campaign around 5 main platforms that I believe that will have a practical impact on the lives of the residents of District 185, and that's very important that people look at it. What I'll be doing is that supporting our local businesses, because in the District 185 we have a lot of minority-owned and immigrant-owned businesses in the district, and many of them are really struggling. They're struggling because lack of resources. They need to be connected to the right resources in order to thrive. They're doing their best, but we need to take them to the next level. My goal will be to partner with banking institutions, work with my state and the local and federal counterparts to provide the necessary relief needed for them to succeed. Because I strongly believe that when we help local businesses to succeed, that brings enormous benefit into the community, because it creates a local employment, which translates to residents having employment not far from their homes. So that's what I want to, one of the things that I want to do. The other thing is that accessible, healthcare. So I have been, as executive director of Liberia Medical Mission, I know what it is that when people do not have access to healthcare. Okay, we all saw what happened during COVID-19 when the entire country was shut down. Okay. Well, right now, as of April, nearly about 310,000 Pennsylvanians will go out of healthcare, Medicaid, due to the what I refer to as the big ugly bill that was signed into law by the occupant of the White House. I don't want to call his name. So that has left about 310,000 Pennsylvanians without Medicaid. So, as a future legislator, I want to make sure that we prioritize access to health care. That should not be a privilege; it should be a right. Okay. The other thing that I also running on is that of quality education. I strongly believe that the quality of our children's education should not be dependent upon the zip code in which they live. Okay. Right now, there'll be many schools will be closed in the Philadelphia County. I strongly believe that there's a disparity when it comes to funding of our public schools. Majority of these schools, the students are our children. So therefore, we need to advocate for fair funding for these schools, and prepare them for after graduation. Be career ready after graduation, because many of them, some of them may not go to college, but want to make sure that we have CTE programs linked to those to our high schools. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm under the weather.
It's okay.
Yeah. So, so the other thing that I am also part of my platform is that Immigration. This is something that very special to me, personal to me as well, because I have lived it. We have seen the impact of ICE operation in many U.S. cities, quite recently in Minnesota. So I realized that from my own research in Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania, ICE has signed an agreement called 287G. The 287G is an agreement between ICE and police department to do their bidding. They will go to our hospitals, they will go to our schools to identify who is documented, who's not documented, and all of this stuff. As a future legislator, I would definitely make sure that no state funding goes to those police departments, because what happened is that it strains the resources, the resources of us of our police department. It also erodes the trust that our communities have built in our law enforcement. All right, and it also prevents our community members from even going to seek for medical attention, because if they notice that have been reported and they can't get attention. So those are the key things that I'm running on, that I want the residents and the voters to know why they should vote for me and why I'm running on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Saka. Now let me go to some of the panelists. If you have any question, Bishop Reeves, it seems like you want me to start with you, giving the expression. But Bishop Reeves, if you have any question or comment.
Oh, okay. I want to appreciate Mr. Sako tonight for his forwardness, for his ambition to extend what he has been doing for many years, giving back to the community, giving back to the people. I just want to find out, I heard him say something about Medicare, and I heard him say something about immigration. Now, those are two hot button subjects in America. So let me start from the immigration. Are you telling me that you are against the law enforcement dealing with illegal? I just need to make sure I understand where you're going with that particular platform. Are you against illegals being deported? I hear you talk about defunding the police. So can you just clarify that for me?
Okay. Well, thank you so much for seeking that clarification from me. Now, what I'm saying is that I am not advocating for defunding of police. What I'm advocating for is that the fact that the immigration enforcement agency been used to go into our hospitals, all right, and terrorizing peaceful citizens. There are many people who have legal document, all right. Even though that they came here, they sought asylum, they were given work, authorization and stuff like that. I'm totally against, ICE going into public spaces to at least get into those areas and apprehend people unlawfully, all right, without any judicial warrant. Okay. What I also said was that those police, look, I'm totally against having murderers in this country, all right? Folks that are coming and those that are against the interests of this country. Well, peaceful citizens that are going on with their normal businesses, DACA recipients and stuff like that. No, I mean, I strongly believe that those people should be given a second chance. I also said that there are police departments that have signed agreement with ICE to do the bidding for them. All right, meaning that that's dangerous for our communities, because if the community, you know, if the community feels that they cannot trust their law enforcement agency, so the likelihood of them reporting even crime, even reporting anything. Let me just give you an example. Right here in Philadelphia, there's something that was brought to my attention. One of the new arrivals, I call them the new arrivals. Okay, he was picked up by two persons who told them that they had some work for them, and that they will pay them. All right. After spending the whole day working in an uncomfortable environment, so what they did, they brought them somewhere around the woodland and threatened them that they're going to call ICE on them, and they didn't pay them. All right. So, where do they report that? If they found out that the police is being used by ICE, at least to apprehend them, they're not going to report those kind of stuff, illegal behavior. So that's what I am against.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Do you have a follow up to that question, or Bishop Reeves?
Yeah, so I would just I know that when it comes to the issue of immigration is hot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it has to be a follow up, Bishop Reeves. I had to go to the next panelist.
yeah. So what I'm hearing from you is that there are illegal people. There are people who are in America illegally, and ICE or the police want to deal with illegal migration. Illegal. We're not talking about legal people. We're not talking about peaceful citizens who are legal. We're talking about illegal people. So I'm hearing you against the fact that illegal people should not be deported. And it's like wherever they are, if ICE is going after the illegals, you seem to be against what ICE is doing, and I will find that kind of not so good.
Thank you, Mr. Saka. If you don't mind, let me just get the next question, and then you can respond to Bishop Reeves while you answer the next question.
Sure.
Mr. Boda, let's get your question in. Is there still image?
I want to thank Sako for his hard work and his commitment to community and society. I'm proud to have you as a Liberian trying to make an impact, and the kind of impact you have made through your services to our community abroad. It's such a hallmark for everyone at us, and I want to say thank you for that.
Thank you.
I didn't hear the district of which you want to represent to the State House in Harrisburg. And secondly, maybe the question Bishop was asking, are you against the process or against immigration, illegal immigrants? I mean, illegal in the country. Is that what your point was? Are you against the procedure or against the removal of illegal people? What is your take on that in your campaign? Is that what your campaign is for?
Yep. Okay, first of all, let me also try and re-clarify the Bishop's question. Okay, and your first question was that which district I'm running. That's a District 185. And that covers, if you know Philadelphia, that covers Southwest Philadelphia. It covers Southwest Philadelphia and part of Delaware County, specifically Corwin, and going all the way to the Philadelphia International Airport. And South Street, part of South Street as well, towards the stadium. Regarding the immigration, let me come back to that again. What I said was that this country, it's a nation of immigrants, and it's a country of law. All right. I am totally against federal agents coming to people's home without a judicial warrant. All right. Period. Okay. Those that have been granted temporary asylum, meaning that they are awaiting, all right, their days in the court. Okay. They should not be taken like without any form of a warrant from the court. I'm totally against that. Okay. So again, we have minors that that came in this country. Okay. They have minors. All right. Their parents brought them. They came illegally, but they have started the process through the court. Those children go to school, and once they go to school, there are agents, there are enforcement officers that show up at the police, at those schools. All right. So when the parents feel that their children are being sought after by these agents, they hold them home. They don't allow them to go to school. And when these agents also start showing up at the hospitals, okay, people refuse to go to hospital even if they do not, even if they are sick. Do you know what that means for our health system? You understand? If they don't, if they keep themselves at home and they don't go to hospital for checkup, and they have some sort of contagious diseases, that can be huge for the entire community, So again, what I'm saying is that it's not to say that I'm saying that illegals are welcome to America. Now, you understand? There is a process. Asylum. Okay? So that's very important. But there's a due process, and that process should be respected. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sako. I'm sorry, but I have to say on the immigration question. I think I want to just seek for more clarification, just based on you answering the few questions, the 2 questions from our panelists. Now, you use a very interesting phrase, new arrivals. Is that if you don't mind to expand on that? And as far as undocumented, I think you should ask a question on that. But it seems to the answer always still around to people that have some type of status.
Yeah.
I'll ask an even more direct question. What is your position on those that are here without any proper documentation relative to the operation of ICE? And also, you during your opening remark, you use a phrase, occupants of the White House deliberately refusing to mention the President of the United States. So if you care to expand on what is your reason behind that, I would appreciate it. And lastly, you mentioned that one of the goals of the campaign is on quality education. If you care to talk to our audience about the challenges that are faced with for people in your jurisdiction as far as education or quality education is concerned.
So, let me regarding the immigration. All right. Regarding the immigration, again, I would say this country was built by immigrants. All right. And those immigrants, they were given a second chance. Okay, so there is a process. When people, whether they come through visa or they come any kind of way, once they get in this country, they are given an opportunity to at least file in for asylum. while that asylum process is ongoing, yes, if you violate the laws of the country, yes, it will be the prerogative of the government, to take care of you. All right, but peaceful citizens who have come in this country, all right, and that they have followed the due process by filing for asylum, they should give that due process a chance. Let the court render the final verdict to say, based on what you have provided, no, you cannot stay in this country. All right. But to leave that process going and pick up people, I am totally against those individuals, whether they're legal or illegal immigrants that are murderers, that pose serious threat to our community and society here in the United States. All right, I'm totally against that. But I strongly believe that the same way this country gave me the second chance, I came in this country as a refugee. Okay, others should be given that same chance if they are peaceful. And the issue of ICE operation, not only did it affect the so-called illegal dark, immigrants, but there were people, in fact, there are citizens that were born in this country that were impacted by the operation. Why should that be? So that's my point. So when it comes to you also mentioned about why I refuse to mention I just said the occupant of the White House. We know who the occupant of the White House is. That is President Donald J. Trump. Okay, the reason for the first time I did not call his name because of some of his ill-advised policy and the negative impact those policies have brought onto the working families in Pennsylvania, specifically in the District 185. So, and as I go around, I usually tell people, sometimes I meet folks that will tell me, oh yes, I'm not voting. I'm not voting because why? Because things have not changed. All right. So I said, well, the reason, your inaction has caused you more damage than your action because you did not vote. That one vote, okay, that one vote theoretically could make a difference. That's why it's important to vote. So when it comes to education, Pennsylvania, especially southeastern Pennsylvania, in our district, you'll find many of the schools. For those of us that live in Philadelphia here, when there's a snow or when there's a terrible cold, we normally get an alert that our children can't go to school. They'll stay home. Because why? Many of the things in those buildings, many of their school buildings are more than 100 years. Most of the structures are more than 100 years. They have so many antiquated materials in those buildings. Okay, and the schools have not been fully funded.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sako. Before we go to Mr. Yusutu and Mr. Gewe, we'll take your question together. Let's recognize the presence of Dr. Ben Sika. Dr. Sika, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. I appreciate everybody here.
Thank you very much. And guys, if you would please shorten your question because I don't want to keep Mr. Sako here for too long unless
Yeah,
we.
yeah. So, excuse me, Derek. Can Mr. Sako tell us how he intend to work on the education piece? How he intend to
Yes,
put
yes.
that together in terms
Before
of the
before before
defunded schools and all of that?
Thank you. Before Mr. Saka responds to that, let's just take compound a question from Mr. Tutu and then Mr. Giwa, and then I'll take Mr. Tata Ben Sika last. Go ahead, Mr. Tutu.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Let me welcome Joe to the show, and also to appreciate Joe. Joe is a gentleman I know very well. In fact, Joe was the one that introduced me to the refugee context, or advocate body, like you said, the advocate for the right of refugee around the world. And I see the impact on the work that the work that he does. And I mean, I appreciate him for that. And Joe, having listened to your intro, let me thank you for the matter you have taken to represent the immigrant community in the part of the Pennsylvania House of Assembly. Like I normally tell immigrant, if we seeking high offices, tell about it, that the message will be politics. Like will be whether it's a Democrat or whether or Republican, because our immigrant community will come up very huge to support one another to be successful, especially in the country. That's my only advice I would get to give you. Go beyond politics, go to immigrant community. Not all the immigrant community are Democrats. Some of them are Republican. They don't want to preach the Republican ideology. And you confront these people. So you have to find a way to navigate your message to them and see how best to get on board to support your agenda. There may be some of them, like you say, they wanted to call the band the White Hornet, but that's why he has a strong core supporter right now in Philadelphia too, about African or immigrant community. So just have way to fine tune your message. Be able to attract and get these people on board. But I wish you the best. I wish you success. Like I know you personally. You can reach out to me anytime. What contribution I can make to the campaign. I'll be willing to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tutu. So you're a Unity Party and Unity Party supporter, and then a Democrat. Got it. Mr. Giwa, your question.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Brother Saka.
I hold on small. They better say so.
You have to respond to that. I was just acknowledging who you are and what you support or what you stand for.
That's what the record says. I'm not a Democrat.
Oh, okay. You just go ahead, Mr. Giwa. I don't want to say something that you have to respond to it again. Mr. Giwa, go ahead.
Okay. Brother Saka, thank you so much. I want to sincerely appreciate your achievement treating refugee in Guinea with that of Danale. Thank you so much. But here is my problem or statement. Number one, the topic or reasons of going to parliament is too broad. You're talking about healthcare, you're talking about immigration, you're talking about education. Even if you were to be chosen as one of the chairmen, that could be one. You have to narrow it down. And moreover, I don't know the district or constituent you are from in Liberia, and you're talking about giving back to the community. Don't you think it would be wise for you to seek for that position in Liberia? You don't think they deserve more than the people in America? And moreover, you're talking about classroom, how the eyes will go to classroom. I in classroom did it. The first thing to be on board, you will get a training, a teacher. You should not allow any ICE officer to come or intrude in the building. They will not in fact pass to the receptionist. I get the same goes to the hospital. There has been no report that this ICE officer walked into SYZ school and arrest or have somebody arrested from the school building and taken out. it will never be in the school system in Pennsylvania. I taught in Philadelphia, right now in Arlington School District. Your idea, I think people in Liberia will need you more than the people in this country. And the education system you're talking about, I'm sorry to say, it declined. To admit to you, brother, I don't know what is happening. Liberian students might be better than some students in America at this time. Some of them don't want to learn.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert.
Especially Philadelphia. So, I just want you to narrow your reason of going to Parliament. That's number one thing. If the education, go for education. If the healthcare, go for healthcare. Then your listener will reason. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Saka, before you respond, do you want for Mr. Reeves to repeat the question, or you got it? I know he inserted a question in the beginning.
Yeah, if you can repeat that quickly.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Reeves. Go ahead.
Mr. Reeves.
Yes, I just wanted to know in the area of education, you did mention. You did mention, the schools. Yeah, so I just wanted to know what plans you have to change what you've seen, the problems that you've seen in terms of this school districts and the dilapidated schools and all the different things that you've seen. How you plan to deal with that when you become?
Great question. All right, let me tackle that question first. Very important question. In our district, so one of the biggest issues that we have is that of absenteeism. Lack of attendance, and high school dropout. So, and probably that is also tied to economic reason. So, as a representative, one of the things that I'm going to do, like, I can't do all of this. I can't do any of these things by myself. Like we usually say, there's a proverb, African proverb, that one hand can't clap. Okay, it takes two hands to clap. All right. So, like one of your panelists said, Dr. Toto, and I appreciate you, Dr. Toto. I've known Chairman Toto for a very long time. Decent man from the EULA days. He and I work together, and thank you so much for your service as well to the Liberian community. Broader Liberian community. So one of the things that I am very good at is that reaching out to different people, regardless of your political persuasions or social persuasion. Those are the skills that I'm going to be relying on, at least to make things happen. For the schools, one of the things that to improve the quality of education will be to attract great teachers. And in order to attract them, then I will make sure that we advocate for more funding and incentivize those great teachers. Okay, based at your salary, or basically some of the benefits, some of the perks that come with the great work that you do for our children, will have to be incentivized by giving those great teachers something to encourage them. All right, then that becomes competitive. All right. Another improvement will be, at least to make sure that the parents are deeply involved in the education of the children, by at least making sure that sit with them, listen to them, and also together we can all come up with a possible solution on how to move those schools forward. I do not want to be a legislator that will sit down in the office and write down legislation and say, well, this is going to address all the myriad of issues that we are facing in our various schools. First of all, you start with a town hall, inviting the teachers, the administration. You invite the residents for them to come and, hey, here are the issues. How can we move forward? How can we address these issues in our various schools? Okay, and take those feedback up, and whether it can be addressed legislatively or it can be addressed socially, whatever means that are available to us, we can do that together. All right, and investing in technology for the schools. All right, and getting funding from the state, at least to kind of rehabilitate some of those schools, because I'm just tired of having our children to stay at home, especially during the winter. Oh yeah, the heating is not good. Oh, this is not good. It's too hot. The air conditioning is not good. Okay, now those things, this is not a genuine excuse. Okay, we cannot have our children sitting at home, not going to school because the air conditioning is not working, or the the heating is not it's not good. We should be able to take care of some of those things. All right. So those are some of the things that approaches that I'll take. As I usually tell my my voters when I'm on the campaign trail, my approach to leadership is this: I like to lead from the back, from the middle, and from the front. Okay. So I believe in the participatory democracy. That is, I get the constituents involved in everything that I do. Make sure I get updates from them, get feedback from them, and get an input, so that together they are well vested in what we intend to do for the community. All right. So the improvement will come as a result of the total involvement of the community in the school administration. I hope I've addressed that question. Mr. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mr. Reeves,
Mr. Sako,
wanted to-
what you just said, what
Yes.
you just said to us, Mr. Sako, unfortunately, other
Yes.
people have come and said the same thing. They
Mr.
said the
Reeves,
same thing.
Mr. Reeves,
So,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Mr. Reeves, I would like to hold you until I get a question from Dr. Sika.
I wanted to end, but the bishop will come on. I wanted to also respond to I don't see
Mr. Kewa.
Yeah, okay, Shagewa. I appreciate you saying that the people of Liberia need me more. I appreciate that. I know I have gotten, when I first declared my intention to run here, I got so many messages in my inbox. People were telling me that I really, we had hoped that you will, especially interest in running in Liberia because of what you have done for us in Liberia and all this stuff. So, and I basically told them, well, my mission in Liberia was purely humanitarian in nature, because I wanted to give back to my country, and I will continue to give back to my country because it is that Liberia that gave me to the world. Okay, so I'm not God to say, well, I would never, but for now, I like to support whatever is going on in Liberia, whatever I can do, as a Liberian, to support the country and the citizens of Liberia, whether in the area of healthcare, like I have been doing. We just returned 3 months ago, so I'll continue to do that. But in terms of running in Liberia, I don't intend to do that for the foreseeable future, because I can't say never, because you never know. That's it. You leave that with God. All right, because I never ever thought that one day that I'm going to be in politics. All right, I'm going to be running. All right, but no, Liberia for now is out of my yeah. I don't.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Thank you.
so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Yeah.
Let's get Dr. Ben Sika question. Any
Yep.
question or comment to
Yeah,
Mr.
thank
Sako?
you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I don't really specifically have a question. I just want to comment on a few things that uh, Mr. Sako talked about. That's what I wanted to comment on.
Yep.
And I want to say, Mr. Sako, thank you for your courage. I was just going through your profile. My name is Dr. Ben Sika. I was just going through your profile. You come from a loaded background, came to this country as a refugee, got the courage to take a GED, go to college, and earn about 2 masters. That is profound for me. I want to say thank you for the courage and your determination to do what you did.
Okay.
That's the kind of thing. I was a refugee as well, and I spent a couple of years in the refugee setting in the Ivory Coast before I came to this country. So thank you for your courage.
Thank you.
For your political future or career you are pursuing, that's fine, because this country is part of our country now. Many of us who cannot just say we're going to root out and just leave. That for me, in my case, I have my children here. I cannot just leave, or if I leave, I will still have, dealing with this country. So we have to make an impact. I'm currently helping the governor, Kennedy, for this Georgia. I mean, in Georgia, I'm helping run a campaign for him, who's going to be the guy that's going to be the next governor, Rhys Jackson. So I understand what is going through. But you live in a place called Levittown. That's where you live?
No, Philadelphia. I used to live,
Yeah,
used to live in Levittown, but I moved to
so I
Philadelphia.
was going through that. I was just trying to see that place, where it is. And so you have a sizable electrics there. And when I was going through that, it has been fluctuating. The electrics have been fluctuating. I think it went for Mr. Joe Biden, 2020. But then this current election, many of them went for Mr. Trump. And so it is not really setting. What I was trying to comment on is your platform you're trying to put out there about school and immigration. And I saw the demographic of that particular county you live in. I think Buck County, something like that you live in.
I'm currently not in Levittown. I'm not in Bucks County. I
Okay.
moved a couple of years ago
Okay.
into Philadelphia County, which is Philadelphia.
Okay. So obviously I got deceived by your platform. Maybe your profile. Probably need to update it, so that people will know exactly. But
Yeah,
that's where I'm reading from. So that's where I was coming from.
Right.
And so fine, whatever you are, that's fine. And I want you to narrow down your game point, your game plan. You can't solve all the problems. And voters have specific things that they are aiming at. They want to hear. So, for instance, the issue of school in this country, those schools are handled by states and also by counties. So they handled by states and county. The counties raise the money, the federal government subsidize them, and then they go through with the school process. So if the school fail to do this thing, it must be a local issue. Okay, so you gotta keep a watch on that. Another thing you are talking about is the immigration thing. It's a very sensitive issue in this country, and sometimes parties want to politicize it. One party is for the immigration, and one party is against the immigration. I don't think it's a bad thing for anybody to come to this country legally. When you cross the border, you come in illegally, you break the law. That's just it. If I went to your house and you didn't give me any permission and I entered there, obviously I'm trespassing. So that's the simplest way of understanding the immigration thing. So they come here, they transfer. And number two, the reason why it's so good for anybody to come in legally, you came here legally and you made a lot of progress. I came here legally. I made a lot of progress. There's no way I would have earned a 2 master's degree in this place here. There's no way I would have worked for company that's agency, the CDC, and other government offices if I didn't come legally. There's no way. I would have worked on a table. I would have suffered all my life. So there's a good aspect to coming here legally, and I think that aspect all of us need to promote it, because you don't want anybody to come here and just work under the table most part of their life. That person will be abused. That person will be taken advantage of. So my approach to this is that I should encourage people, when you come here, try by all means come legally, so that you will be able to explore life, so that you will make a lot of progress. So what I want to say to you is that if you're addressing this thing, you need to find a balance to it. But number two, you are not only going to attract Democrats to vote for you. I don't know whether you have surpassed the primary, but if you go to the general election, it's not only Democrats that are going to vote for you.
Thank you, Dr. Sika. I will allow Mr. Sako.
Yeah,
if you'd like to respond.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much, Dr. Sika, and really appreciate you. And from my previous statements, I said that I'm not supporting illegal immigration into this country. Period. Yeah. What I said was that because in the immigration law of this country, yes, you are allowed to seek asylum. There are people that came with for visa, all right, and got in this country. There are children who came, with their parents in this country against their own will, because they're minor. They didn't know where they were going, and then they ended up in this country. They're DACA recipients and stuff like that. But once the government, the United States government, has given the individuals that I'm referring to, have given them a piece of document and give them work authorization, meaning that, yes, we are aware of you. You are here. So we want you to at least not to be working under the table, all right? Work and pay our taxes while you await your day in the court, all right? But while in that process, they should be given that due process, okay? That's basically what I'm saying, all right? There are people that came here as a refugee. In fact, refugees they are one of the most vetted, okay, people, because you pass through more than 7, many security agencies. Okay, so we know that. But I appreciate your statement. In terms of the platform, yes, I definitely agree. And there are sometimes I will have an interview for journalists who say, okay, yeah, I know those files. Yes, in 2 years, you're only going for 2 years. In those 2 years, well, among those five, even if I can wrap a 1 or 2 and do some sort of an impact in those areas, all right, then of course I will consider that as an achievement. Okay, but those are my priority areas. Okay, so it may be, yes, it may or may not be possible to even have put a dent on any of those or something, but it will require the participation for everyone in my district, and it will also require me reaching out to different aisle and getting the consensus of my colleagues in the House to make sure that some of these things are addressed. But yes, I appreciate your candid advice about the platform and stuff like that. And congratulations on your assignment in getting the new governor in Georgia.
Yeah, we gotta get you later. We gotta get you later.
My primary, actually, I'm challenging a 3-term Democratic incumbent. A 3-term Democratic incumbent. So it's an uphill battle. All right.
Yeah.
But I'm very confident that with our record in the community that we will be represented, we're confident that we'll be able to at least defeat the incumbent. but it requires massive efforts and,
Yeah.
and groundwork. Okay.
Thank you very much. Mr. Saka, we've had you here for a little over an hour, so we don't like to keep you any longer. So I'll take one more question from any one of our panelists and then give you the opportunity to close out on this conversation today. So, Mr. Bodam, Mr. Reeves.
Well, I don't have a question, but I had a comment or just a advice from my brother.
Go ahead.
Brother Saka, I appreciate your effort and your boldness to contest these elections. And I also want to thank you for taking a bold move on issues that people might shy away from. I mean, that's the strength of a politician.
Yeah.
I mean, don't always try to shy away from the difficult issues. I know political issues are not meant to be the softest one. And I know right now immigration has become the hottest topic in America. But we need to respect the law. And that law is the founding father of this nation. That's the cardinal point that we all live by here.
Yeah.
And I think Mr. Trump needs to respect that law and present it, the effort in a very productive way. He has done an extremely good job in the immigration process by minimizing illegal coming to this country, which is appreciated by every American. The border was such an open door. It might sound funny being an immigrant as well, but the fact of the matter is you don't want to have your people flooding in. But the procedure, I think, is where I think many of us might have a problem with because the way adopting the issue. So I hope that you don't sound like you're against, but the presentation may be the procedure, the way it's being done, the right of people are not being respected. I think that should be your message, your cardinal message across there, that people will understand.
Yes.
You're not against immigration, but the procedure is what you're against.
Absolutely.
So those type of messages that you can tailor to people up there for them to understand. Okay, even Republican, Democrat have issue with the procedure, not the process. I mean, the process is what I got problem with.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where I want you to tailor your message very well. And I think we attract a lot of people for your side. And I want to applaud you for that. And thank you for the effort and whatever support we can give you.
So
We will around. I mean, you can reach out. We'll be able to reach out and talk to people in our district as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boda. Mr. Saka, I give you the opportunity to respond and also the opportunity to give us a closing remark here.
Okay. Well, what can I say? LRTN has always, I must appreciate all of you. At least the fact that you took off your busy schedule to be here. You could have chosen to be other places. Taking time of the quality time that you should be spending with for your families. I truly appreciate all of you. As I always tell people, campaign, don't knocking and all of this stuff. Look, this is not Joe Sacco's campaign. This is the people's campaign. God has only given me the courage to run, but I'm just going to have the title, but it belongs to the people. Because I strongly believe that for some reason the power of the voters have somehow been stripped away from them. They feel powerless, and most of our politicians are accustomed to this culture of a political entitlement. So people do not hold them to account. So what I want to say here is that I'm running because I want to get back. I'm running because I want to make sure that our community, our district deserves a leader that shows up, that listens to the people and work with them. And that's the kind of leader I've always been and I will continue to be. All right. I will work with the people and their ideas, their suggestions are things that I really welcome all the time. I'm asking every voter in District 185, whether you are immigrant, non-immigrant. As a matter of fact, I I came across the two Republicans who, from just interacting with me and researching about me, decided to change their party affiliation just for this primary. And they said, well, we're going to change our party affiliation to be a Democrat, just to vote for you, because we believe in you. We have researched you, and we have seen you doing things in the community that a great leader does. So I'm asking everyone out there. Yeah, people that say, well, oh no, I'm not going to vote for him because not because he's Liberian. But I just want you to look at my record and compare my record with that of my opponent, and decide for yourself. Okay, decide for yourself. But again, please go to joesacco.com and donate to our campaign and volunteer your time, even if it's 1 hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. I want to appreciate my hard-working staff, committed members. Dr. Owen Twazama, Sultan Ashley, Ms. Howard Sharif, who's the chair, and all the hard-working men and women who are in the cold, in the sun, knocking on doors. I really want to appreciate them. You know, every woman, okay, even if you're not here, please go to our iGlue account, donate $5, $10. For every donation that you make, that gets us closer to the victory line. Again, I want to say a big thank you. Let's do this thing together. We're about to make history very soon. On that note, I want to say a big thank you. Thank you to all of you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph Sacco, for again appearing here on the Liberian Television Network, and presenting yourself to answer some of all of the questions of our panelists here. Again, as we part ways tonight, I wish you that you recover speedily, because I see you're under the weather. And also, if you're watching us and you're a resident in District 185 PA, remember the date is May 19th to go out there and vote. Mr. Joseph Sacco, if you're convinced by his deliberation here today. Again, it was a pleasure having you. We will switch gear to the second segment of this show, but we'll take a break.
I meant to make a quick announcement. We're having a voter registration drive on Saturday. And we also need volunteer poll washers. Those are going to be our eyes and ears at the polling stations. We need more than 100 volunteers. So Saturday, between 65th and Elmwood, we will be assembling there. So at 1 o'clock. So please come and meet us there to meet other, campaign staff. So I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
Okay. There it is. Thank you so much, Mr. Sacco.
Right.
So we will now switch gears to the next segment of our show, but we'll take a break first and we'll come back. You can stay if you want, but we will switch gears to that segment of the show. But for now, if you're watching us, we'll see you guys after the break.
Thank you.
In our community, we help each other. But when it comes to prescription pain medication, such as opioids, sharing isn't helping. It's harming. What works for you could be dangerous, even deadly for somebody else. Don't share your opioids. Instead, help by guiding your family, friends, and neighbors to a doctor. Real help saves lives. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN.
Attention all organizations.
If you can fix it, let me call ourselves. Yeah, I don't want to get no more. You get it, come. Yeah. I knew I was gonna get something to do. My eye will keep, my right black eye will keep blinking today. Yeah, I do good. Yeah, you can fix that. Oh, that's someone's there. Hello, girl. I'm all right. And you?
Did you know 1 in 4 patients who take opioids long-term become addicted? Opioids are strong pain medications like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or morphine. They can help with pain, but they can also lead to addiction and overdose. Take the medication only the way your doctor tells you to take it. And never share them with your family, friends, or neighbors. Know the risks. Stay safe. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTM.
Attention all organizations, NGOs, and social clubs in and out of Liberia. Are you tired of relying solely on social media to run your operations? An effective web platform is your most important marketing tool, and that's where Tiamet.com comes in. Hello, my Liberian people. My name is Sophia, and I want you to consider this. 53% of consumers do online research about an organization before talking to someone from that institution. That means not having a website could be costing you opportunities. Step up your game and establish a professional online presence. Introducing our web platform, designed specifically for 501c organizations, small businesses, and political organizations, social clubs, etc. At Tiamet.com, we understand how important it is to make a great digital first impression, which is why we offer you all the help needed to develop, maintain, and host NGOs and small and big organization websites by giving you a full suite of services that includes automatic billing for members, membership and visitor portals, first-class design and functionality, and much more. The best part is, it only costs $20 per month. Upgrade your image today with our customized web design services. Visit www.tiamet.com to get started. This is a Liberian-owned business.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching us, this is episode 92 of the Hot Zone. Again, it's been almost an hour, 20 minutes. We spent with talking with it's a Sakor. Now let's for us to pivot to discussions surrounding issues in Liberia. I'd like to start this conversation referring to a very famous quotation. The progress of our nation is no swifter than our progress in education. The human mind is our fundamental resource. And just to provide some updates on the issue in Liberia, the Armed Forces of Liberia plan to recruit 2,400 soldiers. And that process has already begun. And specifically, April has begun. We've seen it began April 27, 2026. And we have been able to see video of that recruitment process. And we are very short of time right now to get into that full discussion about that recruitment process, the requirement, the issue it raises around the job crisis and the readiness of those applicants to join the Armed Forces of Liberia. But we will entertain the discussion surrounding the presentation we saw from the applicants, which has raises the questions about education in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
To make that point very clear, I'd like to start with a video. I'm sure most of you have seen that video because it's been on social media. I would like to play a video of some of the applicants during the recruitment process.
the beginning of the process of Liberia recruitment process. So first, to show their reading skill.
So you set your seat on the card. Read.
So this process meant to
read loud what you see on the
show
card.
their
Read when
reading
ready.
skill.
Get enough light for reading at night. Next.
So they have to allow her to sit, rest herself. Yeah, ask him to sit, relax yourself.
Read exactly what you see on the flashcard. Read when ready.
So this is the beginning process here this morning.
Run to the next one. Run. Next.
Stand right before her and read exactly what you see on the flashcard. Read.
Yes, enough light for reading out loud. Run to the next one.
That's enough. I think you guys got the point.
Run to the next one.
It just disclaimer. This conversation is in no way us trying to shame those individuals involved. But first of all, just a comment on the process. I don't know if that's supposed to be a vision test or testing the reading skills, but it's extremely disturbing. This is the country that we have under President Joseph Boakai. It will interest you to know that the executive manager they post give an update on the president whereabouts. He's receiving on the war or dinner at a breakfast. It's exactly how the executive manager's Facebook page posted. And in light of this development, the minister from Water and Sewer made a very interesting Facebook post stating that members of the armed forces of Liberia do not need to know how to read. They need to be ready to serve. I may not be quoting that forbidden, but I'd like to bring the discussion to you guys. This is not only about the disturbing facts that some of those applicants cannot read one sentence properly, mispronouncing words that you would expect that people that meet the requirement for joining the AFL will be able to pronounce. It is disturbing because it raises a very important question. What is President Boakai doing to solve the crisis we have in the educational department in Liberia? Again, I have much more comments, but I'd like to bring this to the panelists because I don't want people like Mr. Boda to get my comments first and then try to respond to that. I want to get his initial position on this. Let me hear what Mr. Boda, what Bishop Reeves, who is on one day on the fence with Unity Party, on another day he's a strong supporter of Unity Party. Mr. Reeves will be a very good source to tell us this is the country we have. President Boakai, and I would like to hear from Mr. Tutu and and Dr. Ben Sika as well. Let's just start with you, Dr. Sika. Contrary to what Bishop Reeves, I'm not starting with you right now. I want to hear you last on this. Dr. Sika, let me hear from you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I just want to comment on the issue of the education system in our country. I just want to be fair to Mr. Boakai. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I want to be fair to Mr. Boakai. The system, the education system, did not start with Mr. Boakai, even though I expect him to improve it, but it did not start from Mr. Boakai. You see, those children that were reading, all those people they are recruiting that were reading yesterday, they are just the product of the bad education system we have. Far back from maybe Mr. Taylor time, Miss Elijah Cicely time, Mr. George Weah, and then to Boyka. So I just want to be fair with Boyka. Boyka is not just 100% Boyka issue. It's something that has to do with the progression of our education system. And so in my approach to that, I think we need a renewal, a new way of revitalizing our education system. Because those particular groups have gone, they're gone. You can't really get much out of them. Maybe we can start back, redesign our education system, redesign our curriculum, have new trained people, and see education from different perspectives from the elementary level. I think that's the problem. So the AFL, they have to do what they got to do what they have to do because they honor a tremendous pressure at this point. We have the Guineans at the border. We cannot get closer to them, or we cannot do anything because even if we were trying to flex our muscles, we cannot do that because we are not just capable of doing it because we are short of our military is very low. So that would be my approach to this. Let's our education people try to redesign curriculum, redesign curriculum, and start the whole thing all over because it's messed up. From the high school to the college and all the universities down there, it's an issue. So I will not just limit that to Mr. Boyka alone, but it's a Liberia phenomenon that need to be changed.
Thank you.
That would be my approach to this. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Siga. I would like to take Mr. Boda, but before, let me just make a comment, and I make this comment in the position I believe a lot of Liberians would take. We have this pattern of making excuses for leaders. When President George Weah former President George Weah was in power. Oh, it's not Liberia been like this before President Weah. Oh, the same for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And we continue to make excuses for leaders. And if you will recall that some of those applicants we watched in that disturbing video were primary school students when President Boyka was vice president of the Republic. President Boyka goes back to over 80 years in leadership. If you had any plan to revamp the education system in Liberia, do something about it, he would have done it. So he is directly involved with our youth today not being properly educated. He was vice president for 12 good years, and he is president today. He cannot show any account of him trying to improve the educational system in Liberia. So I would not agree with not putting him in the position to be directly responsible for this. I think he is in a sense.
No,
but
in my case, I'm not exempting him from the whole issue. I'm saying it did not start from him. It started far back. It's a Liberian phenomenon that needs to be. Yeah.
Thank you, bro. But that almost put him in the position. Yeah. And I'm saying that most Liberians will agree that he is directly responsible because if you, I think, there's a religious saying that to whom much is given, much is expected. President Boyka is in the position right now to solve some of that problem, and what he's choosing to do is to dedicate a well in Bapolu County and bury some of his old friends. So he is directly responsible. He is a direct party, and we are not going to put part of the blame on him. I'm sure most Liberians will agree with that. But let's hear from you now, Mr. Boda. I don't know if you guys getting my audio.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you for your intro. It's always good that you start with the president, and that's your narrative. But the point of educational breakdown in Liberia is far back over 30 years now, since 1980. Right? So, and I don't want to shift blame on presidents. I think I want to shift blame on professional Liberians that are involved in the educational sector. Liberian has to learn to not just blame the president up there. We as Liberians have to take initiative in our community, in our local community, to to get involved with our children's education, and that is lacking in our society. We sit back as Liberians in our own community and shift blame on everybody else, but forget about ourselves. The situation with education in Liberia today has to do with the involvement of each and every Liberian that are out there, parents, teachers, and the government. They hire people who are educators to lead the Ministry of Education. You got various sector of the educational sector who design the curriculum. That is what they hire them to do. And today, one reading in Liberia is this: the entire system needs to be overhauled. And Liberia have to push that initiative from the House. Liberia representatives have to sit down and think about all of these things. But you know, it's just good to blame the president for everything, you know. And where is that's the easy route to get out. But what about as parents, as community? Where do we get involved with the system of education in Liberia? The president is not going to go to all of the classroom. He hire people that bring government. We paying taxes, and people are being paid. You know, so Liberians themselves need to stand out, and we just stop the blame game, because that education is not Mr. President's job. It's not a president's job to go to classroom. It's not a president's job to train the teachers. We hire people. They are educated Liberians in the country. It is us Liberians that have to take that step to move forward. So I don't want to put the president in his basket, whether he's been there for 40 years or whatever years. We as parents have to take initiative. That we see in America here. They got school, you got a board of various schools that go and decide for the school and do things that need to be done for their kids. And that's where Liberians need to come in to do. The effect is not on the president, it's on us as a community to do. So this one is on us as Liberians, and we need to take an initiative to move our educational system further, because it degenerated every day as we move on. So, you know, that's my take on this.
Thank you very much. I would like to take Mr. Giwe, but let me do a follow up to Mr. Boulder real quick. You know, before I take a comment on Mr. Giwe. You mentioned we need a system overhaul, and you think the blame rests on professional Liberians. I would like to ask you this though. You and myself can agree that the president is the only person in the country that has the power to pass an executive order today and make primary education free or improve the education. He has that executive order power to do something about education in Liberia. Since the president of Liberia took over, what has he done? What steps have he taken? What improvement has he made? Just go to some specifics. If that's just for the sake of conversation, so we can take some of the blame off his shoulder, what has President Bouaka done for education?
What I'm trying to tell you, Derek, is always finding an escape route for the problem in Liberia is not going to do anything.
I understand what you said. Let me
make my point. Let me make my point clear.
I need to give me specifics.
I told you I'm not going to address Mr. Bouaka in this situation. The broader problem in this situation lies with professional Liberian and Liberian as in general. We are parents in the community. Okay?
Thank you very much. You answered my question already, Mr. Buddha. Thank you very much. To my question about something specific President Bouaka has done for education, Mr. Buddha confirmed it's nothing. Let's hear from Mr. Giwe. We'll come back to you.
Thank you, my dear brother Darren. What the educational system in Liberia specifically, or the government has to do something, not precisely the president, but the educational minister, or supervisor of school, or principal of school, or director of curriculum. Those guys are all involved. Don't come to classroom. You evaluate your student, who are the active in your classroom. You should know them. And the principal or the vice principal for administration has to be on her feet or on his feet to be visiting the various classrooms, whether the teachers are really engaging the students. That's number one. Evaluate those students, because I know today I saw some Liberian reading. Okay, all students are not the same academically. You evaluate them. There is a program that you have to tell up the student what she is good at or what he is good at. Reduce the lesson. The person who designed the lesson plan should design special lesson for that, for that student. Whether she's in 12th grade, but she's supposed to be operating on 11th grade or 10th grade level. It's unique. That will help that student to grow, to develop, effort for education. That is done in America. And make sure that you invite the parents every semester. Let them see the report card, invite them to see the progress report for their students or for their children. That is very important. That way, the parents will get involved into their children's education because they don't want their effort to go in vain. These are some of the things that people do in classroom in America. Or every morning,
Mr. Gilbert, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I might have missed where you when you said this, but or just in case you didn't, what role does the president play as far as improving education?
Okay. The president has already appointed a competent Liberian minister of education to perform that area of the administration.
So after that, the president just let it be and just watch. Pretty much that's what you're saying.
Well, I am not saying the president should sit by and watch. But before I appoint you there as a minister of education, I should know your background, I should know the kind of work.
Well, we get that. We heard that self-competent. I think that's answered the question with background. But I'm trying to understand: is the president active in this process as far as like improving education? Is it the simple job of just hiring somebody for that role and then just and saying that's it? Like what do we go from there? That's what I'm trying to get at.
The president is not going to be silent. The president is the one. Is almost, I can describe it as a headmaster in the process.
That's why I expected a king or headmaster hire someone to do the job and just be done with it.
Yeah, you can visit that department as president to know whether there's a progress for the entire Liberian students. You should know everything that is going on. If there's no progress, what do you want the president to augment? Or you need some assistance, you need some staff to augment some gap in the educational system, then you have to develop maybe find means to get some money to hire people to replace or to occupy the gap that is open. But rather than that, there will be no achievement if the staff. Yes.
Thank you very much. Let's get a 30-second comment from you, and then we'll go to Bishop Reese. Mr. Dr. Sika, go ahead.
Yeah. Quick. You see, when I said it's not just it's a Liberian phenomenon. So, but the president has a major role to play as well. Very, very major role to play. First of all, I was going through the budgetary allocation of a Ministry of Education in that country. There last year or 2 years ago, it was around $43 million, which is very, very small, very, very small. They try in this budget, 2026 budget, they increase it up to, I think it is $1 million. That's one part the president has to play. The school system in Liberia, we are Liberians, and we are responsible for it. From the president to all of us.
You're close to do, please.
Go ahead. Am I okay? So,
yes, you're good.
So now the budget, I don't know. The budget has been allocated. That funding need to be available. The teachers in the classroom as well need to have good salary. if that does not happen, they're not going to put in the time. They're not going to put in the time. And they will extract money from the kids so that they give them grade and they go on.
Thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, when I was going to school in the 80s, in 1988, 89, those years we were going to school, no teacher asked me for money. It was a competition between us. This student went on a road and I need to go on a road. That's how we're competing. I went to the Catholic school. But that is not the case anymore. So we all need to invest into this whole thing. The teachers need to be paid and they need to be monitored. I have an organization here that builds schools there in Liberia down there. And the school we build it and we don't have teachers. And the Ministry of Education retire other teachers. The retired teachers. I know they are old of the age, but if somebody's worked for the school system for 20 years or 30 years.
Thank you, Dr. Sika. I'll give 15 seconds to just conclude. I'll have to go to
if they work for the school system for 20, 30 years, even if you retire, then find a way to even bring them back because they're leaving a gap and there's no teachers. I have school down there that my organization built. We have no teachers. And the teacher cannot get on salary. We had to pay from our pockets from here to help them at some point. So there are a lot of factors to this thing here. It's not just one point. Like the president is 100% the problem, but his role is to allocate budget, and his role is to check on the education minister and to see whether things are going well. That's really his role.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sika. Now let's go to Bishop Reese. But if you're watching us, prepare to hear. We can't blame everything on the president. The people got to take responsibility for it. But Bishop Reese, let's hear from you.
I don't know where Dr. Ben Sika has been all this, but Dr. Ben, I love you, man.
I'm a Liberia.
Every point that you have made tonight has been very, very educative and very good. I like your approach. I like your answers that you've given. I really appreciate it. And I think I needed to say that to you.
Thank you, sir.
Please keep it up. Now, there are a couple of things I need to address. Number one, the issue we're dealing with of education started as far back as Charles Taylor, as far back as when the war hit Liberia. You got 3 generations that have come through since then.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has been done as a country. Like you hear them say, we are running on roads. There have been no major plan for education by any one of the governments that have come over the last almost 30 years, or 35 years. No major plan of any one of them. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you also see that in the process of no major plan, there are private institutions that have been doing extremely well when it comes to their level of training and teaching our children. And I can name some of the private institutions over the years that we've had that have done extremely well. Okay, I took my 2 boys back to Liberia, and they went to private schools in Liberia. They went to Hela, and they were there for 2 years. And when I took them back to the States, they went right back to the same school that they were going to, and they had to do assessment for my boys. And the principal for that school told me that the way my boys answered the questions, they answered like they answered like high school students. Okay, so that means that they're going to school 2 years in Liberia, put them at a place where taking an assessment test in America, they score very high marks. So I was very proud of what the private institutions in Liberia are doing. Okay, but we are talking about education generally. You realize that there was a report that came out right when Ellen came up that the illiteracy rate of Liberia was about 85%. And when that illiteracy rate came up and it was announced, nothing major. And I'm using the word major because I mean the government can say something, the government can hire somebody, and different things can happen. But I'm saying nothing major as a country, as a government, nothing major has been done about education. Okay, and I think we need to go back to the drawing board and come up with a comprehensive plan for education in Liberia. And that's one of the major things that have set us back in terms of the mindset of the people. We put people in government, we put people in the legislature who are not educated. Somebody that I've seen work in the Liberian government, you take that guy who cannot even read properly and put him in charge of the head of the committee that is responsible for education in the legislature. How do you do that? They did that because all the other people who wanted their position, they wanted to secure themselves. And because they wanted to secure themselves, they had to give and take. Okay, so let's put him there so that he can vote for us. So there can be no contest. No contest for the position I want. That is the politics that these people play with us from the legislature perspective, which is very wrong.
Thank you very much.
President Boyka, I'm sorry, just giving 2 more points. I have 2 more points I wanted to. President Boyka appointed someone who was very qualified, but if you listen to what Dr. Sika said, how much money did you put in for education? So they did not put in a huge allocation for education. So I blame all of them, including President Boyka's government. I blame them. Last but not least, what they did, so far as the military is concerned, that recruitment process, they went and recorded and put on Facebook. I was very appalled. Let me tell you something. You see the great America. I don't care what kind of political party that is in power. They will never show anything on any one of the television station, radio station, or anything that would show the country, that would degrade the country. That thing those people did and put on Facebook and showing that these guys are going for recruitment and they can't read, it was very wrong to put on to show that aspect of the country. Yeah, we want to deal with education. Yeah, we want to deal with that. But you cannot do that so far as the country is concerned. Okay, so I think that we need to do something about education, and just posting everything online about our country is wrong.
Thank you very much, Bishop Reed. I have a question, but I would like to hear from Mr. Tutu on this topic. And guys, we are in the 2 hours mark, and I don't want to keep us here that long, so we will have to do a part 2 of this conversation on our next episode, because I don't want us to be here for over 2 hours. So I will hear from Mr. Tutu, and then I will break protocol and take a break, and we'll come back and just give you guys the opportunity to close.
So Derek, everybody talk longer, so I can't talk that you want to say 2 hour limit.
No, we're approaching the 2 hours mark. I'm going to give you the almost.
So don't bring that tea. I will beg you.
Yeah. He can always do that. He always does that.
No, hold on. I was
nothing. Let him man talk. Please go ahead, yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just posted the topic that it will kind of interest you. They're going Saturday at the at the University of Massachusetts. I did a presentation there, or the Liberia State Annual Conference, where a group of scholars come together to discuss the education system in Liberia. And I did a presentation there about rural education, the disadvantage in the rural area. And then come on Monday, and I saw the AFL issue, or some of the same issue that we discussed at that conference about Liberia education and some of the improvements. But when it comes to the showcase of Liberia education system out there, it not just come from the AFL. That issue had been out a long time before even the AFL recruitment. Some time ago, during the editor, we saw there was a mass failure in the entrance. And that also explains the weakness of the education system in Liberia. We are seeing subsequent mass failure, even the last exam that the children take that will qualify them for the various colleges that we are seeing mass failure in it. So the process has been so bad to the extent that it affected the human capital development of Liberia. So it did call for serious attention. That's some of the things I had in my presentation. And then also to most of the statistics, when the World Bank, NGO, and other international organizations go, when they make these statistics, they look at Monrovia. They say Liberia doing better, but they just kind of generalize with data just based on most of our county and Monrovia. But going to rural area where education system is so bad there, children go to school there by 60. When it rains, somebody had to walk, not this, and they can walk. Somebody making farm and things, and so that's a complete area that is neglected. And then one of the factors also that affect the education system like Liberia too, the teacher situation. If you guys can recall, everyone that went to high school in Liberia before the war, most of our teachers were foreigners. Ghanaian, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, they were in our various schools. They were teaching. And those schools were
Senegalese, Gambians.
They were doing, and those schools were doing extremely well. People wanted to send their children to schools that have foreign teachers those days. The war came. All those people left. The Liberian teacher that left there, that filled the gap to supplement all the things. And then KRTTR and ZRTTR are supposed to train teachers, they are less funded than the budget that Dr. Sika was talking about. You don't have no allocate, so good resources to form that sort of. And then also to now, even the high school, but even the colleges, we have somebody that have a bachelor degree or somebody had a master's degree because they graduated of volunteering. They feel that they qualify to teach another graduate student too, or bachelor degree. And one of the things I discussed in my presentation, by you graduate with a master's degree, that's not make you to be a good teacher. You have to be trained to know the ethics of teaching, how to deliver the message, how the children will understand the message. So it is a federal panelist. This thing is not political. If we have to address the political, if we have to address the education system in Liberia, we should remove politics out of it. See how best to resolve it and deal with it. If the government have to pour more money and get qualified teachers to go into the system, pay them the money they pay people. And what a diaspora Liberia will have qualified for the diaspora to go. When our in Liberia or this going January, I mean, I will share. Like one of the graduate school wanted me to help in the graduate program because I have a PhD. And we talked to, we have a very good conversation. And I said, what are you guys going to offer? And they say, oh, Dad, we have to help this, our sacrifice. We get $1,500 a month. Now, you're looking at me who have a doctorate degree. I should leave all my family in America, sit in Liberia for $1,500 a month. To head a program. I just laugh. I just say, we'll talk about it another time. But the money have to be spent. If all we have to help the education system in Liberia to attract diaspora, any part of the world, or even Liberia, the government have to put more resources in and put qualified people to spearhead this thing there. That's the only way we'll have some little bit of improvement. But with the level of people that they have there, some of the people that say up with the host community education, and some of the people, even the reading is a problem for even our national leader. He talk about the kids that graduate high school. So we shouldn't try to diminish those kids. Now, maybe try to make the hair be, because you see the poverty rate so high that they're all looking for employment, because they feel that the military is the right place for them to go now because they're open. So whether they land, they don't land on that, they feel that's the right place they want to go. And you show the huge tenor that came up. And people talking about Bolake local degree or non-degree. No. So federal parliament, let's just take politics analytics and look at it as a national disaster of our country, and we'll confront it from all angles.
Thank you very much. I try to give you as much time as you need, so you can accuse me anymore of taking time away from you. Well, I'd just like to briefly respond. I would like to briefly respond to you and then Bishop Reeves, and I'll ask you a question though. I think it's interesting that you can start by saying that we should all come together to do something about education in Liberia, but then they offer you the opportunity to do so. You're concerned about the starting salary,
Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, the salary, Derek. The salary is very important. I
honestly, you don't have to explain yourself. It's a little contradictory for me. If you say we should,
it's not contradictory. It's not contradictory. It is not contradictory. The Liberian government must put money in that budget for all of that.
I will give you the opportunity, but I want Mr. Tutu to have the opportunity to clarify his statement. I find it contradictory that he can say that we should all come together and do it for our country and do something about education. But then he had the opportunity to give him the job. You can affect education like
policy.
Mr. Tutu. I will give. Can you protect me? I will give you the opportunity to respond.
You are protected.
Again, not to repeat myself, I find it very contradictory. You were given the opportunity. You could have affected education within that position, but that's not my concern. Mr. Tutu, you made let's not bring politics into this. Because your support of a political institution is blocking you from calling people out, doesn't necessarily make it politics. You will talk generally, refusing to call a spade. And the truth about it is, President Bouaka is not prioritizing education in Liberia, and you will not say that because of the support of him or Unity Party. You can see not only from his inactions, but from his action, the way he clamps down on student protesters. He alma mater at the University of Liberia, where he got a BS in agriculture. Look at the condition of that institution. The President Bouaka is not prioritizing education in Liberia, and Mr. Tutu, you will not say that because you support him. And I think that's where it matters. Because the president of Liberia should be the primary one responsible for improving education in Liberia, and he's not doing anything about it. And Mr. Tutu will not call him out on it. You will not call him out, and you, like Mr. Boda, you cannot point to any specifics of Bouaka making improvement in education in Liberia. You go ahead and get all these big plans, big ideas. If the president don't move his foot, nothing will happen. And I would just comment on Bishop Reeves very briefly.
Let me comment on your 30 seconds. Let me make a comment on.
Go ahead, 30 seconds.
The issue of the president, so that the president know. If you were when I went to the Liberia State Association, the president of the University of Liberia, she was the keynote speaker.
All these big plans, big ideas.
She was the keynote speaker at that conference, and she gave a presentation about the current status of the university, when some of the pictures, the improvement that have been taking place. And you know that she was part of the presidential delegation that went to Ethiopia on a state visit. And the reason why the president took on that delegation was to go access the higher education system in Ethiopia, and she went to the agriculture colleges, the
AI. They're studying things, they're assessing things.
Yeah, so
Nothing
So
real
that's
is being done.
so that's a president contribution. So she went there.
Assessment, we
so she
get
can
it.
look at-
They
she
still
can look at-
studying the
she can
system.
look at the model. So she can look at the model that people have in the education system there in Ethiopia. All of those she can bring them to Liberia, incorporate them. So that's the reason why she's part of that presidential delegation.
Mr. Tutu, let's be serious with the Liberian people. There are people that actually depend on the system. You know, they're waiting for education to improve. You're gonna sit here today, 2026, and tell us that the men have been around government for over 40 years is sending somebody to assess? That's the word. The man doesn't have a plan after all those years. He served 12 years as president. He's president as vice president. I mean, and he's president today. You're talking about. Protect me. My point is, he had time to assess. He had time to at least have an idea on what to do. And for the man to be president today and still sending people to other countries to assess over 40 years, that's what we should take. That's what the Liberian people should be hearing from you right now, Mr. Tutu. But again, let me go to Bishop Reeves. Give me 30 seconds. I want to ask Bishop Reeves this question or comment on what he said, and I will give you the opportunity before I allow him to respond to it. Bishop Reeves, as expected, will start using the civil crisis as an excuse. What you will find him doing, he will talk in general. He will never get to the point where he say President Puaka, the way he acting in the country, I think they may really want to improve education. But again, we understand Bishop Reeves. And I will say this, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I will say this very loosely. If whether the education system will improve, whether it doesn't improve, it doesn't directly affect Bishop Reeves. But we speak for people that are directly affected by that system. So because it doesn't directly affect him, so he's not putting too much pressure as far as calling people that needs to be. Bishop Reeves just talk about private education. Now a lot of Liberians can afford private education. So why would Bishop Reeves call President Puaka or when he's doing absolutely nothing for education in Liberia? Bishop Reeves, I'll bring it back to you again. You are in Liberia. You see the education system. I understand that you may not be directly affected from it being good or not, but the president, let's leave a generalization. You know, let's leave it. Let's now try to look at the House of Legislature. Let's stay in the executive. Let's stay with President Puaka. What specific can you point to? And if there isn't, be honest with our audience. Call this president up. Call him out to see him in action to take steps in solving the education crisis we have. Will you be able to call President Puaka out?
I was not being general when I was speaking. I called every president out right before how you call it, Samuel Doe.
That's
every last one of, please wait. Every last one of them. Now you got Dr. Sika did mention the budget that they brought in for education, that Joseph Puaka brought in for education, and it's very low. And I made mention, I said you cannot have such a low budget for education. That's why when I said that Dr. Tutu refused that 1,005, he was right. You cannot come in $80-something million for education if we want to overhaul our system. So yes, President Puaka is part of it, and George Weah is part of it. Ellen Johnson is part of it. All of them over there have not, and the whole country, we have not really put serious attention to education. How clear can I be? I'm not defending anybody. All of them, they have not put any major attention to education for our country. And then I said, at the same time, the people in the private sector in Liberia are the ones pushing to educate their children. So yes, I know that everybody cannot afford private education, but when we talk about 85% illiteracy rate in Liberia, I was only trying to help you to understand that there are some people who are investing in education in Liberia, which is the private sector. But generally, no major thing has been done. All the governments, including President Puaka, they have not done anything serious with education. And
Thank
I'm
you.
very clear with that.
Thank you very much, Bishop Reese. And let's take Mr. Dr. Sika. And before I say that, just to provide a correction, my comment on Mr. Tutu wasn't about whether it was right or wrong. It was much more about whether that was a patriotic decision based on the comment he made earlier. But Dr. Sika.
Yeah, I think Dr. Tutu made the decision. That was a personal decision.
I agree. It wasn't patriotic, though. I'm just saying.
So, but if we have to make a sacrifice, and then our goal should be that we should have a good outcome that will benefit our people. Mr. Boyka is the president of this republic at this point. He has a major role to play. Is he playing that role? If you can comment on that, is he playing that role? He's minimally playing the role. I will give him the credit that from the budget of $43 million to the budget of $87 million. That is a little sign of progress.
So again, I'm sorry for interrupting. I know you added or minimally. If you can put it on the scale, is he failing or passing as far as playing that role?
I mean, you sound like you want to personally attack President Boyka. That's all you sound like.
Bishop Reeves, I'm just asking question. I'm not saying. I'm asking question. That's all. That's what I'm doing.
We can see through. We see through your question. Everybody have said it about President Boyka, but you still coming back.
Bishop Reeves. Let's protect Dr. Sika. I just asked a question, Bishop Reeves. I just asked a question, Dr. Sika.
Yeah, Mr. Yale, is that the right way I'm pronouncing it?
Yes, Yale. Yes.
Oh, Yale. Okay. So what I'm saying is that Boyka has been around for a long time. All of us know that. So he has his own road that we can accuse him of. But I will give him the credits for the 2026 budget. That's the almost 50% increase from 46 or 43 to 80 something. That is a plus for him. I'm not a big fan. But I'll let it be objective in many things.
You see, again, I don't. Again, I'm sorry for interrupting. I will give you a
Jerry, I think I need to come in.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. I don't want to trigger Bishop Reeves again. But again, I asked a question, Dr. Sika, and I feel like you're not answering the question. You said he is minimally performing the role. And I'm asking you to expand on your use of minimally. If you will put it on the,
you're not giving me the
no, I'm going to give you the chance. I just want to clarify the question so we can be clear about your answer. If you can put it on a scale, is he passing or failing in performing that role? That's what I'm asking.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to give him a 50%. I'm not giving him 100%. The reason why I'm giving him a 50% is that.
So he's failing technically.
Yeah, technically, you would say he's failing and he needs to do more. But the fact that he has the courage, he has the audacity to raise the budget of the education from $47 million to $87 million, that is a plus.
Thank you.
It's one thing to have that budget to that level, but it's another thing to implement it. That's what I will encourage he and his surrogates or his government to make sure that this is really coming. Look, let me tell you something. The future of Liberia, I'm not going to ridicule Mr. Boyka, but Mr. Boyka is outside of the future of Liberia.
We agree. I agree with you. He shouldn't be where he is today. But again,
he's totally outside. We're talking about planning and the future of Liberia. Mr. Boyka is out. He's out of the equation.
Totally agree.
Yeah, we and all of us here, we're supposed to get involved. And we're supposed to do okay, we're supposed to do something about it. And I have an organization that is mobilizing Liberia. I know many of you that here work, but whatever capacity in the education sector you are qualified in, we have a 6 weeks or 3 weeks training, a program. We go out there and help to teach in other schools. We want to be a Peace Corps for ourselves.
I'm assuming that it's a voluntary. That's a voluntary
So
work.
I'm going to see how Mr. Yale is going to take advantage of what Dr. Sika is saying to go and volunteer and go to Liberia and contribute his quota, because he is saying that this is their generation now. He's telling us that our time is gone. It's their generation, Mr. Yale. I put the challenge to you to take advantage of what Dr. Sika is saying.
If we
Darren,
don't,
can we come in here and make a comment, sir?
We apologize for Bishop Reeves hijacking the show. Mr. Giwa, let's hear from you.
Okay, thank you. Well, first of all, the situation in Liberia, we are division of labor. If Walker has appointed somebody to become education minister, that person should be competent, experienced, who have experience in classroom, who has functioned dealing with students, progress of students. But I don't think the people they are appointing today, Deputy Minister of Education Assistant, I don't think most of them have been in educational field before. These are the problems we're facing, because teaching is a dedicated career. You should accept insult, to listen, to be patient, to have very good, lesson plan for children. You should have all those experience or knowledge before you can bring somebody in the field, or to train students to come out very well. But I went to school in Liberia in the 80s, high school. Most of our teachers didn't have lesson plan. To present, some of the teachers, they don't have lesson plan. Neither the textbook they teaching in school. And most of them today, when you visit classroom, most of them are on their cell phone. Let's watch the students. And so this is what is going on in Liberia. When Lama Wakayo was membered, now university used to be Nima Community College. He asked me to go for Human Resources Department in Sanikoli. But just what the brother just said, the salary was not something to help my family here. I remember from graduate school, there's a boy that work a job in Lanco as manager from United States. Monthly, they were giving $500. Could you imagine? So the boy had to come by. So there's nothing that can encourage people to leave from here to go to Liberia to work. If you want to do that, it's a volunteer job that you're going to do.
Thank you.
Again, if you want to do that, have passion for the job. Be able to impact the student.
Thank you.
And before Mr. Judge, quick before what our brother is saying. Let me just say something. The issue of Liberia and bringing Liberia on a par with other countries around the world, it is not just one person thing. It's a collective thing. All of us got to get involved.
Thank you.
The education minister is talking about Dr. Jason Yala. I mean, she has level of education. She has a very good level of education. She has done many things. But she alone cannot make the difference. All of us. What is the essence of having an education if you cannot be a help to another person? The idea of all of us, you see, we try to be condescentric in a sense that we sit in America, the comfort and everything here is going fine. I have children here. My children are here. They have a good education. But I think about myself. I come from a very remote part of Liberia. My father was a teacher. Very remote part of Liberia. I never wore shoes. I never did all that kind of thing. We went into school. In fact, the school we had was a church house. That's why we stayed there. We went there and we maneuvered our way. We came here. So what is the essence of you having a master's, you having a PhD, you having all these degrees, you work here and there, and you cannot make a bigger impact to another person? That's what my concern is. And I challenge all of you here. With my organization, we call it the Liberian Peace Corps. All these educated people need to go to Liberia, go spend 2 weeks, sit with that child in that classroom there and see. Go to medical personnel, go to there and sit with that hospital down there. Sit with somebody there in that hospital and see how the nurse is performing and see how the person is performing. You gotta play the role. The idea that we're looking outside the other people should come in and help is not going to happen. I've traveled all around the world, you know, and I see how people, this is a self-initiated thing, and we have to do it. If we don't do it, nobody's going to do it for us. This is the almost 200 years old country, and it's still the same. The reason why is the things that we expect other people to come and do it for us. So that's what my input is. If you're not doing it for yourself, nobody is. All of you living in good houses. All of you living in good houses, they drink good water. But nobody ever talk about, oh, the water is not good, I need to go and build a well. None of you.
I'm excited tonight. Thank you, Dr. Sika. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah, I like to be romantic.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sika. We are over.
Derek don't want me to talk tonight in the issue, so you just start on me. No problem, Derek.
I'm coming to you. We're over the 2 hours mark.
It's okay, Derek. I want to say your view.
Again, I will give you the opportunity again before we take our final break, and then we'll come back and close out. But I would like to respond to Dr. Sika, though. You know,
you take it all the time, Derek, because you respond to everybody and you enjoy yourself. And you don't
you know what? Let me. I don't. Let me respond. No. Mr. Buddha, you can go first, and then I'll respond. Then we can go for the break. If you want to.
That's fine. Look, thank you, bro. Thank you, Dr. Sika. I appreciate your comment, and I wholeheartedly welcome you on this show because this is what we have been preaching here. You know, the blame game that we Liberian professionals or Liberian in the diaspora think that magically we're going to be here and just sit back in our comfort and talk, and it's going to happen. And not many of that, not a day that diaspora Liberian has said, look, we're going to volunteer. I want to volunteer to this position to help in my area. But like he said, people always sit back and want the biggest salary because in America I want to support my family. You cannot compare wages in America to Liberia. The rent you pay in America, you're not going to pay such a rent in Liberia. So if you got a PhD here, you don't expect to pay you $20,000 as a PhD holder because you're a PhD holder. You got to look at the economy holistically and see what happened in there. And professional Liberian here criticize everything in Liberia, how wrongly it's done, like you regularly said. We go there for vacation, drink beer, and say the same thing in the beer shop. But the 2 weeks, like you really said, the months we spend in Liberia, not a week would take to say, look, I'm going to sacrifice, spend the time and volunteer at this school year, this in the school and help straighten out the thing. Thank you for your idea that you're going to have a peaceful Liberian going back. I think that's a way, instead of blaming every president for everything, if we as Liberian professionals, like I said initially in my intro, the point is us. We blame everything on the one president sitting over there. He appointed you as a professional Liberian, prepared as a district educational officer, professional Liberian there, and you refuse to perform. The president raised the budget from $43,000 to $80 million, for the $3 million to $80 million. Yeah, Mr. Yari had not seen being the president doing anything. If you had a $4 and somebody gave you additional $4, that person is it's a process. The educational process is not an event. The president is making a progress in that direction, even though you didn't put $100 million in the educational budget, but from 40 to 80, that's an improvement that we should applaud him for. You got districts that have legislature come in and what are their input to the budget for their district for education? It's not the president that representing every district. He represents the company, but everybody sends somebody to represent it, and this is where our problem comes from. Because the people who are being elected to serve are not working, and everything is on Mr. President. I think that's where we're making a mistake, like, bro. If we continue to look at the president, we'll change president every 6 years and we'll be in the same state. And that's what happening all over. We should look at our legislators those that we appoint and the Liberian people must stand up in our community about education, healthcare, and rise up. You can't sit down and be complacent and say, oh, Mr. President, the old man, and the president come and walk and go look at your house. In your district, in your village, in the school that don't have light, you don't say anything. You sit back, waiting for Mr. President. I think that's where our problem is. Liberia need to rise up, hold our government accountable, and force them to do what is entitled to them. So that's my state in this part. Let us stop blaming Mr. President every day because we got to take initiative. And Derek, I hope we can take a vacation this time around and go do some volunteer time.
Yeah.
I will give you free house, Derek. I will give you free house and a car for you for your 2 weeks. I will give you a house with air conditioning, everything comfortable, so you can do your 2 weeks.
We will recruit all of you. We will recruit all of you.
Thank you.
You leave from here one way or 2 ways. You go and spend it in Liberia, depending on your leave time here. You go and spend it there, and not just in the Morovia. You go there and go and drink beer and play with girls there. You go in a remote part of that and work and put in the time. You are.
I'll give you a house. I'll give you a house and a Toyota Tundra. You, Derek, so you can go to the different counties.
Are you guys going to allow me to at least protect me, have a few, 1 or 2 minutes?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
We just helping you so you can know that as you young people take over Liberia today, you will have every resource you need, so there will be no excuse. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me first start with Dr. Sika. I must commend the initiative you and Peace Corps is taking in volunteering service to Liberia. You cannot put a price tag on voluntary work.
Yes.
And I must now also provide a disclaimer. My response to the work of your organization is in no way a discouragement of the work that you're doing. Regardless of my response, I think you should still continue doing what Peace Corps is doing. With that being said, I refuse the characterization of my country because the existence of voluntary work make Liberia look like a refugee camp. And I lived on a refugee camp. Most of the aid you get, most of the improvement you get is from volunteer work, is from aid being rendered. And my country is not a refugee camp. I don't think major improvement or development should be dependent on voluntary work, which is where I feel like you're wrong on the show tonight because you refuse to call individuals that are in position that can spearhead development, especially in the educational sector. And to add to my statement, there have been many volunteers before in the past in the area of healthcare. For example, I have friends that go back, volunteer in JFK, working in conditions that they were not even trained to work in. No electricity. The government paid them no mind. I have friends that left there, graduated university, and to help to go teach in high schools. They came back very frustrated because the government did not pay them any money, neither provide any services, just to provide the environment for them to work without any challenges. So when you mention,
is it during the Bwaka government? Is it Bwaka government?
Bishop Reeves, let me respond. Okay, I'll give you the opportunity. So when you mention when we mention voluntary work, we must be honest because there have been volunteers before us. If we go and do voluntary work without holding the people that are responsible to develop these areas accountable, we will remain volunteers for as long as as the country exists. No Liberian should feel guilty of not volunteering when President Bwaka is going to Ghana for his friend's birthday. No one should feel guilty of not volunteering when President Bwaka is using money to take a ridiculous amount of delegates in other countries. Allow me.
Derek, man, don't take all the time on Bwaka here, man.
No. Again, I thought you guys promised to protect me. How about that?
We're protecting you, Nazi.
Let me. We have to go
You've
for our
been
final
attacking the
break.
president every chance you got
I'm
on this
not
show.
attacking.
Every day you attack the president.
How about Mr. Dr. Speaker?
Let me say something. When you go for the break.
How about we do this? Let's take our final break and then we can do this in the closing.
No, let me say something before you go, because when you have the break, I'm not coming back. I have to go and get my children.
Yeah, so let's do it. Should we take the break or should we just go?
I mean, we can go. I mean, I don't think anybody is on any durance here. I think
no. I mean, of course, I'm looking at time. I can give you the chance to respond. So I'll just let it be your closing since you're going to leave after the break.
Yeah, let me be my closing statement.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I will. Let me just guarantee you guys, I will appear anytime I have the time. I can come. I don't have problem with that. You know, we all Liberians. We have to discuss issue of Liberia. Okay, so I don't refrain from criticizing people when something is wrong. I personally, but I also, in the process, I like to be objective about it. The government of Liberia is a developing country. It's a developing economy. When you look at that whole GDP down there, it's around $5 billion, less than $5 billion. And so in its totality, it cannot solve all the problems we have there. And since it cannot solve all the problems down there, we cannot continue to go out there and beg for money from donors, from other people. We cannot continue to go out there and take loan as a country. Then many of us that came to this country here, then we also have a role to play. You may not spend your personal money to pay the teacher, but you can volunteer to do something. You can do something and make your impact. You can make an impact. That's what my position is. I don't care what Liberian government is going to pay me or not. I don't care for that.
I told her I agree. I agree with you.
We have to play. You see, the thing is that I was in Kenya, Nairobi. There's a place called the Rift Valley. It's a tech hub area now, but it was dilapidated. Many of the I spent about 6 weeks in that area there, and what I saw there is that a self-effort initiative going on there, and we Liberians have the tendency of being very, very, very condescending. We're going to compare Liberia with like America or other places, but these things we are experiencing, we are enjoying, they come with effort. Boyka alone cannot do it, the other people cannot do it. Let's try. So if I go to Liberia, even if they did not pay me, I can make an impact. When Boyka sees me or see my organization or see all of you here, we are running our volunteer services. If you have to talk to any of them, they will pay attention. They will pay attention. Yep. I have a lot of representatives and other people down there I talk to every day.
Yeah,
so that will be my role. I want us to see.
No, I get it. I respect it. I must commend you. Okay. I will say it again directly to you. I think you have a great idea, a good vision. I just think the approach. That's why I disagree with. I think volunteers should not be the one taking the first step. I think the government should do something and be like, oh, I don't think we can afford to do this. We're asking for volunteer and then volunteer.
I was giving my closing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
My closing debut, whatever you may call it. Mm-hmm. I am not saying the government does not have a role to play. It has. Mm-hmm. But the government cannot do it all. So what would be your role?
Let the government play her role first.
It is. The government is playing their role. I'm not for Boyka. I'm not for all the guys there. The government playing a role, but they're playing a role on a very minimal level. So we will get involved from the approach of maybe a volunteer. You guys here you got people down there you talk to every day. Talk to the senator. I'm from Maryland. Let me just tell you what I'm come from Maryland. I have 2 senators down there. I have 3 representatives down there. I talk to them almost every time. And if any of them not doing right, I guess in a respectful way, I say, oh, Mr. Global Brown, Mr. Bani, Honorable Taylor, this is not going right. What can we do? Other people depending on you, thousands of people depend on you. But if we just stay on a standpoint of criticizing everything that any of them do, come on, man. I mean, you guys are also human beings. You get there tomorrow, myself will criticize you.
Oh, welcome it.
Okay, so it's not just criticizing, sitting in the comfort of America and enjoying. You, Mr. Derry, I don't know where you come from. Where do you come from?
Riverside County. Riverside.
You come from all the way to Riverside County. You know how your country.
I never been there. Riverside County.
You never been there.
The richest, one of the richest counties in the country.
Can we just close? How about we just draw the curtain to this? Give your closing remarks.
Development. The poorest.
So, gentlemen, let me put it this way. I'm leaving now, but
it's been nice having you. I know you're leaving now, but I'll just take. It's been nice having you. I hope to see you the next episode. But I'm not going to. Upaka has to maybe 80-20 for me to volunteer. Nobody will going to do minimum and then I go volunteer. What? Yeah, you can afford. You can Dr. Sika, you can afford. Bishop Reeves can afford. Mr. Boda can afford. I'm just building my life. I'm not even in a position here to volunteer for myself, let alone life, bro. We'll talk about that one another time, but it was nice having you.
Young people.
Mr. Reed,
it was nice.
Mr. Yala, Mr. Bola, Mr. Gilwell, and other panelists. I want to say thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you guys. The one thing I want to leave with you, always remember your country.
Amen.
Remember your country. Nobody will do it for you. You have to do it for yourself.
Amen.
Get involved. These are your people. You can pick up phone and get to any of them. Let's have a courteous approach and discussion with them. If I met Mr. Bweka today, I would talk to him. For instance, like he came for that war. There was no reason for him to come here. He would have sent his ambassador there. He would have sent his foreign minister there. He have most important things. So those kind of stuff. Let's engage them. That would be my approach. I want to say thank you, gentlemen, for inviting me. I want to say good night. Every time, reach out if you want, or anytime you're having a show, I will come in. I'm going to say good night to everybody. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. You waited for your living before you criticize Parker, but let's take a closer remark. Let's start with you, Mr. Gilwell. And then we're gonna keep this show. We've been over 2 hours 30 minutes. So
it was interesting, brother.
Closing. Mr. Bishop Reeves, keep it short. Mr. Gilwell, let's hear from you.
Well, thank you, Brother Derek. My fellow panelists, thank you so much for your participation. Liberia is our home, but we cannot just leave everything with the president. He's just the head, but we are the vine. There, he's the head. We are the vine. We are the branches. We're supposed to help. So if you are Liberian and you have opportunity to go to Liberia vacation, if you want to go to the educational sector to help, I urge you to do it. That is the work of, it's a dedication, job. It's a job of passion. If you don't have that passion, don't do it. But it is important for Liberian to get educated. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gilwell. Hope to see you in the next episode. Let's hear from you now, Mr. Martin Boda. I think you're mute. Go ahead.
Like we all have said, and I said earlier, Liberia, the tendency that we have of blaming our president for everything. We have ill president, we bring war, we elect people every day, and we still have the same problem. Liberian, we have refused to see ourselves being part of the problem, but the president. So I ask tonight that as a Liberian, when you're walking around, when you see yourself, especially in the diaspora, professional Liberian in the diaspora, we making impact. We are doing a lot. We're doing a lot. But they criticize everything and trying to compare apple and orange. It's not going to work for us. There is a lot that we can do by just sitting and comparing your big salary in America with the salary you want to make in Liberia. That will not work. It's not going to work. You're not going to be in Liberia to pay your mortgage here. You know, and if that's what we're waiting for, I think it's a high benchmark to build. Because you making 80,000, 100,000, 60,000 dollars a year, you're not going to have a teacher in Liberia making $60,000. So that is not going to pass. The reality is there, and we all know that. So I ask that we support and do the best we can, advise our people to hold their leader accountable in the district they come from. The villages you come from, you got to rise up in the area and hold your leader there accountable so that they can go and fight for you. That's what you're sending them to do. If it comes to budget discussion, they have to look at your district and fight for you in your district. Those are the messages I want to give to my people out there. Old man Boakai will do his part, but we all have an equal responsibility to play our part in government. So, Brother Derek and my son, my brother and friend Derek, you are a young and potential man, and I want you to mobilize your young folks so that we can take a summer vacation to Liberia and explore a little bit, and we can take your county as a trial and go to Riverside in particular. And you see, and we see what's going on there, and you listen to the people, and you hear some of the story there, and not just sitting on and being as a moderator, and badging the old man for everything he does. He got all the problems, and I hope that you can join me when I'm going to Liberia. We can go to Liberia and come back. Then you have a different perspective. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear from Bishop Reeves. After Bishop Reeves, I'll respond to that.
Well, I just want you to know that you got car and you got place to sleep when you decide to go to Liberia to give your quota to the country. I want to see your patriotism. I want to see your loyalty to Liberia. I'm talking to you, Mr. Derek Yale. I want to see that, and I believe that that's the beginning. Now, I want to thank all of you for this show, for always coming on the show, and we are free to just express ourselves. I want you to understand something. Liberia have, especially Riverside County. Riverside County got enough gold that you can mine to your 10th generation. I'm saying 10th generation. You got Riverside, Sino, River G, Grand Cru, and Grand Gilead. That is the vein of the gold in Liberia. Now you got all this gold in this place, but yet Riverside is the poorest county and nobody is doing anything about it. So I want all of us to, it would take a concerted effort, not just one group of people. Okay? There are moves that our presidents have been making, and I think they can do better, including President Boakai. They can do better in terms of what they need in order for Liberia to go forward. They can do better. Now, I'm giving Boakai the benefit of the doubt because I know he got at least 2020 up to 2029. So I want to see between now and that time what they're going to do. That's why I'm not completely putting him down. Can we keep his feet to the fire? Yes, we must keep his feet to the fire. Yes, we must hold the government accountable. I want us to do that. At the same time, I am giving Boakai the opportunity between now and the end of 2029 to see what they're going to do. All right? But please, every one of us have our part to play. The Liberian private sector also have a part to play in order to see Liberia move forward in terms of education, in terms of business, and everything else. I want to say thank you, and God bless you, Mr. Yale. Thank you. And all of you panelists, Mr. Buddha and Mr. Jewel, thank you for being on the show. God bless you.
Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bishop Reeves, and to all of you esteemed panelists for your contribution tonight. And again, I would like to say to Mr. Sakor, thank you for joining us tonight and talking about your campaign activity and your plan for the people of District 185. It has been a very interesting and I think fun conversation here tonight. And to those of you watching us, again, thank you so much for being part of this program tonight. We will be back here next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And just one thing to those of you watching us, if you have listened to all of our panelists on this episode, there's one thing that we all can agree on. There's one thing I'm sure you grasp is that if you're Liberian, whether you're living in Liberia of the age 40 and above, I think we can conclude that it's time that they retired from our daily politics or just making decisions or just putting forth ideas in our body politics. You listen to some of our panelists saying voluntary work and abandon your family or abandon making a life for yourself and go volunteer in Liberia, knowing what we know about government officials, including the president. And we hear of the national item for Liberia issues is, oh, it's not always the president. It's everybody. We all got to put hands together. But the whole time they're living at elitist in Liberia. They have the money. They got private school education, and they sit and they travel around the world all of the time. But we just get to sit rather comfortably in living in exile because our country cannot provide for us. That's what we got to settle in exile. But they want you to volunteer. I think there's no need to go further. There's no need to go further. These people need to retire. And I'll repeat, age 40 and above, you've done your part. You brought us, you've given us this Liberia. Look at the country you give us. The idea you put 4 years ago, decades ago, is what brought us here, but you still feel the need to put our idea we should listen to you. I think it's time that we say, no, we're not listening. We'll be here next week, Wednesday, same time. Until then, have a pleasant good night.
Thank you.